Yeah, like normal. There'll be some guys out, and whoever can practice will practice.
What happened to Scadaboo yesterday?
He's working back from rehabbing something, so had a little bit of setback yesterday, but won't do anything today.
Is this a multi-week thing, or where are you at with that at this point?
Day by day.
Is it just hamstring? Look like
I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna get into injuries right now. So he's rehabbing. Get him out here as soon as we can. Flat. Won't practice today.
Is that injury or personal?
No, he's working through something.
Yeah, back yet or?
Still, he's got probably one more day here. Got one more day. Everything's gone well.
Full calm. Is he back with the team, or is he doing side stuff?
He'll
stuff
do.
again?
Yeah, he'll do side stuff again.
When Jackson was doing the 2-minute drill, he completes that pass. I think it was 2 seconds left. Why didn't you guys finish that drive?
Really, the last thing we're gonna do is a Hail Mary. So I'm not going to do a full speed Hail Mary. We work on end of game situations, Hail Marys and things like that, and walkthroughs and make sure, really for safety reason, guys jumping up and getting an ankle on something like that. But that's the reason.
And then on Jameis says, why not kick the field goal? You have the field goal team.
Yeah, Graham wasn't. They weren't kicking that day. He had his tennis shoes on. So if he was kicking that day, we would have kicked it.
I'm not sure we've seen you kick a field goal here. If you have, it hasn't been many. How do you go about, seeing how your kickers are doing when they're not kicking in live drills?
They kick whenever they're ready to kick each day. It's not every day for kickers. They kick, so we get good evaluation of them.
Do you plan at some point of adding that into the live portions of practice?
It depends on when they're kicking or the drill of it. For yesterday he wasn't ready to kick, so we're not going to kick him.
When do you wait until the beginning of the week to start getting ready for the first preseason game? Then is that kind of a balance every year where you're focusing on a game, getting guys ready to play a game, but also still with the long-term focus of the season?
Yeah, I would say the first week of preseason we're focused on ourselves, doing the things we need to do for practice, making sure we're getting the situations that we need to get, practicing the plays that we need to keep improving on. It's very vanilla, as you know, in the preseason. So there's not any game planning or anything like that. It's we need to have good weeks leading up here to the season, and we'll continue to do that through our practices. Be very minimal on Buffalo.
Dave, so pre-snap penalties were an issue for you guys last year. We've seen a bunch of them, so far in camp. How concerning is that for you, in this setting? And what's the best way for you to address them?
Well, we address them every day. So part of it is hearing the snap count and staying on sides. Part of it is rhythm with the snap count. Part of it is staying on sides when you're a defensive lineman, particularly in situations where they think you're throwing the ball and giving them a different cadence. We do it in walkthroughs, turn the music down, make sure we're very vocal on it, and you just continue to practice it.
You started pulling guys out who jumped yesterday. Is that just something you need to make more repercussions if you do that?
Yeah, yesterday we had one. We cut him in half from one practice to the next, which is see if we can cut it in half today again. Not have any, but I took him out.
Apologies if you were asked this already, but what have you seen from Neal filling in for GVR these past 2 days?
Yeah, Evan's got a lot of reps. Even when GVR has been here, he's gotten reps with the ones and the twos. He's making progress. He's doing a good job getting movement in the running game. Continue to do the things that he needs to do to play at a high level at that position. There you go.
What's the fine?
That's okay. I'm just going to wait until it's off, Art. So.
I have no idea.
Art, are you listening to your own podcast? No, that's okay. No, he's making improvements every day.
How do you view the right guard sort of position battle so far in camp?
Yeah, the guys have gone out there and they're competing. They're doing what they need to do. It'll be again, these preseason games will be important for evaluation when you can actually do everything you need to do to play really all football. Preseason will be important for us. Tackling, open space running, finishing blocks, cleaning the pocket, doing a good job with our games and our techniques. So that'll be a good evaluation to have.
You said multiple times that preseason is important. Does that mean you plan to play your guys more than you have in the past?
Yeah, we'll do what we think is best.
When you say preseason too, especially for that right guard spot, are you planning on Evan getting a lot of reps there because he hasn't played that position, at least at this level?
Yeah, we'll sit down as a coaching staff once preseason games hit. We'll make our decisions of what we want to do.
Baker practicing today, the backup running back?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
On like the preseason and the prep, at this time last year, getting ready for the joint practice with Detroit. Obviously, the joint practice on week 2.
Right.
So how does that affect next week? Does that mean you go harder? Because if how do you balance when the joint practices are in terms of your intensity of practice?
Go harder.
Just that was very competitive, obviously, going to the first preseason game.
Yeah.
But now it's going into the second preseason game. So how does that affect?
That's one of the things we looked at, Dan, when to do the joint practices. And some of the information that we've received is it's better to do them for injury reasons the second week rather than the first. That's why we switched it. So, when we get there, we'll get there. Let's try to get through this week here and today.
Where's Andrew Thomas in his progression? Where's he at?
Making progress. So he's had some good days here. We'll keep building him, and when he's ready to go, he'll be out there. But I think he's steadily improved. I think he feels a lot better, which is a good thing.
Is he close? He doesn't look like it.
He's getting there. Yep, he's getting there. Making progress every day. As soon as he can be out there, he'll be out there. You guys will see him out there. So, but he's making, I'd say, from week to week, he's made continual strides.
It's possible that you start the same offensive line, the same 5 this year. How important is the continuity part to you? How do you view that?
Yeah, seeing the game through the same set of eyes with 5 guys, but again, we had the most injuries on the offensive line last year in the league. So you have to be able to have guys that play behind them, play different spots, but continuity, you love to play all 5 guys the entire year in the offensive line. Can't remember the numbers off the top of my head, but we had a lot of games where it was a lot of different guys. So you got to make sure people are ready. Ideally, you'd like to have the same 5 guys, no question about it, but usually that's not the case. Hopefully we will this year.